Playmakers, what's going on? This is Coach Wood. We are back at it, baby, bright and early. Well, maybe not so bright, but early to get after it. And guess what? You're on the move with Coach. You're on the move with Coach. So excited to be with you guys on this Friday. So excited for the community that we're building and everybody that's been rocking with us over the past 2 weeks. This is a brand new segment, you guys, for the Before You Go Pro channel. We want to grow this thing. We want to help football players, parents, coaches out there. So you guys, help us build this thing. Make sure that you like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you tell all your football friends, all your football family that there's a great channel they need to tap into, okay? So let's get into it. I mean, we got an amazing weekend, you guys, of football lined up. The great Joel Klatt, alum from my university, University of Colorado, does a great job with Fox Sports. He said, don't plan nothing this weekend. If you got a wedding to go to, don't go this weekend. If you got something with your wife or your girlfriend, buy them a nice gift and say, this ain't the weekend. Because we got some great football lined up, some great matchups. Hopefully it's great football. Sometimes you get great matchups on paper and it doesn't tune out. It doesn't turn out that way. Last week was supposed to be a terrible week. And it ended up being like Armageddon for top 11 teams. 5 of the top 11 teams lost last week. So hopefully this week looks good on paper. Hopefully it turns out that way and we get some great football. But this ain't the week to be running honey-do list and going all over the place. This is the week to sit your butt down on the couch. The weekend, this is the weekend that maybe you got some tickets to a game, but this is the weekend you don't want to miss. So let's talk about some of these big games, you guys. And then I want to talk to the young athletes about how to prepare for a big game. So what is the game that you want to see this weekend? There may be multiple, but what is the big game that you're saying, hey, I definitely gonna make sure that I got a good seat at the sports bar on my couch for that game? Is it the Penn State USC game, which is usually a Rose Bowl matchup, and usually we don't get to see that until it's bowl time? Is it the Red River, you know it's early, Red River rivalry? That's a tongue twister. Used to be the Red River Shootout. Is that the one? The Oklahoma, Texas, is that the one you want to see? Is it my alma mater, K-State and Colorado, playing a late night showdown, which holds a lot of weight in the Big 12? Is it the big boy game? The big boy game. Ohio State versus Oregon. That's a top 3 matchup. I don't know if Ohio State has ever been to Oregon. So obviously with the new Big Ten, we're going to see a lot of things that we've never seen before. But is it Ohio State going to Oregon? Is it Florida, Tennessee? Is it the LSU game? What is the big game to you? What is the one that holds the most weight to you? What is the one that you want to see? I'm definitely interested to see what you guys think. Who do you think's going to win? Oregon or Ohio State? That's going to be a big one, you guys. So tap in, make sure that you comment, make sure that you like and subscribe. But Coach Wood wants to know, what is the big game that you are looking forward to seeing this weekend? And let me know who's going to win. Let me know who's going to win, all right? So last part of this episode, and I truly appreciate it rocking with you guys. I get my steps in Monday through Friday, and you guys get to roll with me. So the next thing I want to cover is how to play in a big game. Some of you guys are in high school. You might play a big rivalry game this weekend. You may be in playoffs, championship, state championship form later on in the season. Some of you guys are in junior college. How do you prepare for a big game? Because if you play football long enough, you're going to play in some big games, right? So how do you prepare for a big game? There's been big games that I've played in where I've showed out. Then there's been big games that I've played in where it's been disappointing. I didn't play as well as I should have. And once I got older and You go to college or you play professionally. I had a chance to play at the University of Colorado. I had a chance to play Canada Arena Football League. Once you get to a higher level, you can't afford to not have great games in big games. You definitely cannot afford to have terrible games in big games because they hold too much weight. Too many people are watching. Jobs are on the line. It's just too much for you to have a bad game. A matter of fact, if you have a bad game in college nowadays or professionally, and God forbid it's the last game of the season, you might not even be on that team next year. You might not even be on that team next year. I had a bad game the last game of the season in the Arena Football League, and I was stressing the whole offseason, and sure enough, they let me go in the offseason. They let me go in the off season, you guys. So how do you prepare for a big game? Here's the first thing. Now, once again, you can prepare for something and it still not fully go your way. You can prepare for something and it still not fully go your way. So this isn't 100% proof. This isn't 100% you do these things, you're gonna show out, you're gonna ball out. But this is going to put the probabilities in your favor, all right? The probabilities in your favor as you go on the move with Coach, baby. We talking some football. So, how do you prepare for a big game? Every game is big because every game leads to the next one. But we all know that some are a little bit bigger than others. You're preparing for a state championship. You're preparing for a big game like Ohio State, Oregon. You're preparing for a big game like Colorado, K-State. You're preparing for a big game like you're going to play in the college football playoffs or in the Super Bowl. How do you prepare for something like that? The first thing you have to do is make sure that you know everything about your assignment. Know everything about your assignment. The professionals really get dialed in. The professionals know exactly what's expected of them. They know exactly what is expected of them. Personally, okay? What do I have to do personally for my team to win? Professionals know that. Usually high school, junior college kids don't know that. But don't be afraid to ask your coach, what do you need from me? Coach, I know this is a big game. I know I got an important role. What are you looking for from me? What are you looking for from me? Okay? So, you guys, the first thing that you need to do is make sure you do your part. Make sure you do your part. Second thing, and when I say first thing is you know what you have to do personally for you to grade out high. You know what they're looking for from you. You may be a running back, and all they're looking for from you is pass protection. They're not looking for you to run for 100 yards. They're looking for you to pass protect. Okay, so make sure you know what your coach needs from you, because whatever that is, you got to do it to the fullest. You got to do it to the fullest. The one thing or two things they need from you, it may be to fly down on special teams and be the first one down there. Whatever it is that they need from you, you need to make sure you know that. The next thing is assignment. And when I say assignment, knowing who you got to cover, knowing who you got to check, knowing who you got to block, knowing who you're going to be running around the field with, really knowing your opponent. So really watching film and gaining knowledge, gaining insight on your opponent. All right, so I know what I need to do as far as what coach is looking for. I know my opponent. I know all my plays. If I'm really good, I know the person next to me. I know what they're doing as well. All right, so don't be a middle linebacker and not know what the D-line is doing, not know what the DBs are doing. You should know what everybody's doing. At first, learn your part, do your job. But after that, it's going to help you do your job in a big game if you know what everybody else is doing, all right? Next thing, so one, I know what coach wants from me. Two, I know who I'm checking. I'm studying them like it's a final coming on a test. I know everything about this person. I know when it's pass blocking because the way they stand. I know when they're run blocking because the way they stand. I know when they're going on a deep route by the way they get off the ball. I know if I'm a quarterback, I can tell what the linebackers are doing. The linebackers, because he moves a certain way, is going to tell me what the coverage is going to be on this third down. I know everything about my opponent. All right. So 1, I know exactly what my coach wants from me. 2, I know everything about my opponent. 3, I know everything about my assignment. And these may not necessarily be in order, but I know everything about my assignment. 4, I'm taking some time to visualize how I want to play. So I'm taking some time the day before the game. I'm taking some time the day of the game to get some quiet time and literally visualize how I want to play in this big game. From the colors in the crowd, to the band and the cheerleaders, to the music, the sights and the sounds, I will have it profoundly detailed in my visualization. Some of you guys are going to play a big game tonight. High school kids tonight. Some of you guys are going to play a big game tomorrow. Are you ready? Do you know exactly what your coach wants from you? Do you know who you have to check and everything about them? Do you know your assignment and your teammates' assignments? And 4, have you already played the game out in your mind, in your head? If you do those things, you should be okay for the big game that you're about to play in. All right? So, hey, excited about this weekend. I know you guys are too. Make sure you leave us some comments, some opinions. Let us know some topics you guys may want to talk about. Obviously, if you are a young football player, we do help with recruiting. So if you're a high school, junior college football player, please make sure you check the show notes because the links are down there so you can get some recruiting support. All right? So, hey, love you. Enjoy the weekend. Coach Wood, I'll see you at the top.